Welcome to the Blue Seat, where we have candid conversations with BW entrepreneurs. And today we have the brilliant Tumelo Sidira, MD of Tilemate. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. How is business?
Business is a beautiful game.
Yes.
So I've been in the game. Yeah.
Everything going well?
Everything, in business, we say things are going well, but you're always on the edge and ready for anything that can happen. But so far, so good. Can't complain.
Great.
Yes.
Good to know. Now, let's just get to the crux of the chat for today.
Okay.
But before we do that, I think let's start with who you are. What makes Tumelo? I know a little bit about you.
Okay.
I know you're a family man, married to your beautiful wife, who's involved in the business. But
Yes.
beyond that, who is Tumelo Sidira?
Well, Tumelo Sidira ke ngwana hela o tshuletsong ko kanye. Mongwa ketse a ke tswa ko kanye, grew up there, ke tsena sekolo ko Motsatsing primary kanye. Then go tswa ho ka go tsena ko Pitikwe junior ko Lobatse, ka tsena ko Lobatse. Then go tswa ho kata mo madikolo mo Gaborone. Yeah, then went to Leicester University in UK, then ended up go University of Pretoria where I did my MBA. Mehela nna ke re for. I was raised up by a single mother. My mom's okay, we encourage her in many things.
Yes.
But ke the only son, a last born. Ke na le bonkgonne ba le bararo. O ke mosala mmarao ke ena nna challenge thata the brilliant and intelligent daughter of the house. So ke ke nna ke mo lebeletse a tsa di baseine go primary ke ntse ke re, you know what, I did that. So that's about me. Hela ke godile hela in an extended family ko kae. Ne ke nna le bo malome bo mang re gola. I remember in my growing up, ke re di se bo di sweet ha ke le ngwana nyana ha ke tsena ko junior ring le ko senior ring go ira madi a tax. I was selling those ice pops, so
yeah. So that entrepreneurial spirit has always been with you.
That entrepreneurial spirit has always been.
You mentioned a number of schools that you went to, including tertiary schools. What did you study? And at that time, when you pursued your qualifications, what was the plan? What was the dream?
Okay. I studied like studies. I did sciences. I was just I was just good in sciences.
No,
About straight A's, more science, pure sciences. And then I became mechanical engineering. Leicester. Actually, what I choose mechanical one particular time go school go senior school. I get some construction. Then there was this one guy who was driving a big car. So get some guy the guy was thinking was like, hey, nice car. But nice car we relaying about no, like delay engineering. This is what I want because of that nice car.
Yeah.
So got some car mechanical engineering. So I graduated there with a first class. And then Leicester at the time there were 3 first class in our group. Then I was one of them. So I finished with a first class honors degree. Leicester. Because I whole like America, I became a postgraduate diploma with University of Pretoria for South Africa. We did my Master of Business MBA in General Management. In my thesis, what are the antecedents that causes them to fall? Because that idea where I want to get into business.
So not in a school, but at the back of your mind, you always wanted to do business.
I wanted to be an engineer, but really bereka. My beautiful wife, I want to be CEO of this particular company. Then I learned but actually to be CEO, it's a massive group. We had 170,000 employees. So when I do a with years and blah blah for you to get to the CEO. one particular time I was in a meeting at the senior managers. The owner or the big guy of the business came about a particular statement. That statement, he was not happy with something about it. You guys, I'm paying you and you are wasting my money. And then it hit me.
Yeah.
But man, I'm busy, but I'm actually making money for him. And he's right. If you say the same, I'm wasting his money. That kicked the bulb there. Or you know what? So there's something that I can say, I am wasting my money or I'm building my money. So that is when the light came on. Or you know what? Do your own business.
Years before after school, what did you do?
After school? Nekili haki hetsa like re haki tsanzi ke le mo madikolo ne ha ke le mo madikolo ke ne ka tsamaka o iphira kana teacher they will follow the history ga o iphira go ipelege kana teacher ka eta ka ruta there for 2 weeks
ipelegetse junior school
go Lobatse ile go tsogo be ke iswa ko manana re le mo breaking ya University of Botswana then I taught there ke ruta maths ha ke tsogo khora gore ke boela ko sekolong ka gore studies ko when I go UK. I go UK, I started as a process engineer in 2007. I worked for a multinational company. I'll not be saying the name because they are massive. But, you know, I can now have my age. Okay. So I worked for 2 years laboratory process engineer. More South Africa, still with that multinational, but a construction product, different construction product. Kabereka thing, like process engineer, hola kana production manager, kana plant performance manager, kana continuous improvement manager. So and hagen zigi bereka konkile karana some of their projects, ki install the plants and all of those things. Like the last plant they install when I went to China to uninstall that plant. It was a used plant installer somewhere else. So that gave me an experience for setup, install the plants to uninstall and also have link Lobatse. They are the OEM, the original equipment manufacturers of different components at the plant. That's what prepared me to Tahore. Business.
Re simolotse ha kae go simolotse eng gore o bo iphitlhela jaanong o dira kgwebo?
Yes, ha ke tla ke atamela nako tsa go batla go ira kgwebo. I learned kare okay, what is missing in what I'm doing. Ka bona gore technically I'm sound, all the rest I'm good. Be ke bona gore go shorta taba ya finance. But then I get to the finance. That's how I went into the MBA. But haki simola nung kitsena mo MBA ki packing sa vera kgwebo, then I started saving. Okay, let me just start saving because I need to do business. And my wife, I remember kila statement is our but romantic way ka go go tsile ja but ke ke somebody with the flower re ka tse bo mo save ya go baka ke tsa the future so ke tsa go di flowering ke save and I had to be very firm in how I save ile go tswa go be ke simolola ke dira the bonding liquids the product ya liquid e be bona ke one ke simolotsang ka yone Lobatse started invested just over $500,000 similar kayone. From there, do I even go further to how I got here?
Already there.
So when I got haki heta kayone, then I approached SIDA. I approached SIDA. They assisted kapana go bona di finance tsa go dira the tile adhesive, which is the porcelain and ceramic. Ka set up a plant around 2021 ka simala ka plant ate and ke tsweletse ke rana ka plant ate. My competitors decided we are not going to sell the clients Tumelo the grouts. So and they have a real that opening an opportunity for me. So clients that say no, we can't buy completely from you because by the way the grouts. Then I started the grouts. So can I let you claim now? I'm running with all.
Looking at the transition from Hano Obereka somebody else to starting to save to start your own business. What was the key challenge in that transition?
What I have to save?
No. Go tswa mo ha o berekela motho a go duela, there's a guaranteed salary kgwedi le kgwedi, to where now you are running your own enterprise. What was the main challenge kana go?
Interestingly enough, I left my job December 2019. And if you recall very well, it like around the 20 somethings how much I badly has for COVID. So at that time, can you say it's modi bonding liquid. So in our house, ne gona le di bonding liquids. Le go ne ke di direla teng, ke di direla ko Lobatse, ne gona le di bonding liquids. So I am there sitting there re tswaletswe ke tsere madi ka tsentse mo di bonding liquid. Of course I had made sure gore ke na le buffer e leng gore as a family ka re sustain for at least a year. But now you are consuming money, you are not making it. Salary. I think that was the biggest challenge. But I would go into the back room. So I'll go into the back room. I'm a very spiritual person. So I'll pray. I pray hard. For your business, you need to have somewhere where you look. That's where I get my source. I pray hard.
Yes.
I'll pray, and then I started doing the business proposal. Seed. I worked on it. I saw what the requirements were. At the time, just to get some more to understand what they need. But I built a pack this much, covering every single thing they need, plus extra. To say, if they ask this question, I built the whole proposal. My proposal was ready. Pack. Then I think around June or since 2020. I was the first go to office in Tasida to submit. Yeah. So during that challenge, I built something selling for a second Madi.
Yeah.
But that was the big challenge. I was obviously looking at Botswana. I had 2 kids. My wife, Gary, okay, where to from here? But I was getting answers when I was on my knees. I was like, you know what? There is a God. This thing will end and I will cross this.
Yes. So for somebody out there who's listening to you, they have a big dream, they want to pursue business. What is the number one thing that you would advise more to take care of? Is there like a process, a system? A young person out there to say this is what to follow, but this will be the key thing to start with?
Business is broad, boy. Mare mihela, I think for the first thing, believe in your journey and where you want to get. Because they will question your journey to say, hey, I'm metota journey. So when only knows you transfer in your journey and be ready for it. And then have whatever it is that you're going to monetize, be it a product or a service. Become a master of that particular product or service. Which is okay, this product or offer this service to the best of my ability and I can compete out there, right? And then another thing, ensure highly the savings or make sure line up the sources of finance, because it doesn't normally happen as quick as we put it more Excel. More Excel, I get in 2 months I'll be a millionaire, but it takes time for it. So just be ready, mentally ready, believe in the process, trust the process, master what you are going to give. Yes.
At a later stage, we'll delve into the growth pattern in your business and daily challenges. But Arubeka Tilemate.
Yeah.
Tilemate and just start hello cosmos and just bonding liquid.
Yeah.
We did a laping to a point where now you are a big manufacturing entity operating a big plant. Lobatse.
Okay, Tilemate is similar the bonding liquid. I was making similarly another guy attitude, so really true, and my wife in support throughout. By the way, ha ke decide go tlogela ke re ke go simolla Tilemate ne ke bua le mafe ke batla go tlogela ke batla go simolla a business, and she asked what business do you want to do ke mmolelela are what name ke mmolelela ile the next day ba tsamaya go register the business. So nako tse dingwe when you talk about it go batla gore go na le mongwe e leng gore wa go support and believe it and actually act on it e ba tsamaya go register the business, so I register 100% de la maybe register again. So that also attests to the level of trust. Harry, yeah, we register I get 50%. Not meaning what that would make any difference.
Yes.
Because yeah. So Harry simolla Tilemate ne ke na le thuso re le babedi 2 employees ka 2020. Re dira ha ke dira with my master's degree ne ka para overall, right? Ke be ke tsena mo teng ga roomnyana, I think it was maybe 4 meters by about 8 meters. Mo teng ga room ya teng ne ke tsentse di bonding liquid tse ke di producer di kuku tse ke ang go tshela mo tsone di stickera ke le office nyana ka go bontsha picture ya teng, you be like what le office nyana ina le desk re share kwa ne go nna thuso ha ntse ka ne ke nna hatsi ha o tsena hela o tsene mo sengwe le sengwe sa Tilemate inside there. Right, so ao ka para o borolo ke a dira di bonding na go tsene ne re khona go tswa go ka bo 10 bosigo re producer re dira di bonding re dira di sticker di bakanya ha re sna go dira re sna gore di enough be ke tsamaya le Masedirwana re tsamaya mo ra go rekisa. I think the first journey ne ke na le ene re tswa go phakalane re tsamaya ka tsela ya kae and the first customer ona re ka na le ko kae and a reka di bonding liquid I think dile 10 dile 10. So we've spent all of that money to just sell 10 bonding liquid, but it was a celebration for us because we're like now we are in the market. There is nothing as beautiful as creating something where somebody is ready to buy it. So ile go tswa ho ka 2021 hari packing is at 2021 ka tla ka December 2020 where it's an warehousing it was costing me just about 30,000. The bonding liquid per month. The bonding liquid is about 23,000 per month. So it's more expensive than what I'm making, but I'm getting it. And again, all the savings. So I might have to cover the saving or negotiate Lobatse or Banela warehouse, and they listened. Negotiate at that stage, but Dumalana. When I got processed, I install a plant technique. It's a team of about, I think we are about 11, 13 at that time. But trainer ka the adhesive, what to expect. Have plant it and chemically test quality jana. I remember many times because negative I don't know plant it to high sometimes they will call me aside, but man. Plant where is the plant? You know, until we get to July 21, where now we had the whole team. I think we had 22 at that time. Now we start the Tile Adhesive C. Really 2022, very interesting. The Grout we are busy developing another product. It's still in the construction line. So we have manufactured depends on the thing. We send them for testing at a lab. We got the results from the 23 to the 28th. A technical person, a trainer, the team on how to make those paints. And I can tell you, depends on the thing, I can put them in the market and they'll go well. But it does not sit well with me. The 100% the quality. Because the quality they can trust and depend on. So that's where the business is at the moment.
Every time I interact alone, I'm always an optimistic person, positive person. But if you have to paint a picture of the emotions that you have to go through a day before you open doors into operation, months into it, a year into it, what sort of emotions do you have to endure?
With again, entrepreneurship is a beautiful journey. You go through different emotions. That's why like I'm a believer. I trust in God completely. But I'll tell you, there are other times telling delay. I say to Lobatse. I go to my past stadium sa Lobatse go the plant. There was a time Mono I'm over 40. I just turned 40. So there was a time I was driving there and I can get wrestling, praying and wrestling things out. When I do high season, thing. I parked by the parking. I used to give a little story. So I saw where like was supposed. I am parking ya stadium. And I cried. Then I cried, took a moment and prayed and composed myself, and I get to work and I'm a smiling person say, guys, let's do this again. So there are other things telling worry, the emotions telling worry. Sometimes you'll be in that deep emotion where you're like, why is it taking long? But you have to have the drive to keep pushing, because the reality of it is when you have a team, they get the energy from you. So when I have and your energy then everybody else will not class. But you need to pump the energy to the team so that they never open up their creative minds, and they are actually the ones by most of the time. But so I've gone through several emotions. The equipment they did like talk was South Africa. I remember I followed the track from the gig for planting, and we represented the Utara. Imagine again, that was like, wow, now the plant is here. So I've been extremely happy to the depth. So you have to be ready to go through all of those emotions, but you need to be mature enough to contain them and project what you want the team to run with.
So that day, how you stadium and you cried, you mentioned Hore. It wasn't, I guess, nila frustration do the idea, but beyond frustration do the idea, what went through your mind?
I'm gonna have to go deep in there. What went through my mind was, did it have to be so hard? I think that was one of the things. Did it really have to be so hard? I knew deep inside that I'm going to succeed, right? And I know right now, I'm making a couple of millions, but I've got a bigger scope, and I know I'm going to get there. But the reality of it, I know the journey is going to be an interesting journey. So I think it was a more of, did he have to get this hard? And I think one of the other things that I was crying for was the finances. But the customer said, we are like, and I to get some of the raw materials. And I had called one of my sisters, and she, yeah, podcast. She transferred the money for me to get what I needed. Yeah. And at that time, it hit me, or you know what, I'm not alone. Yeah. Can I get a tissue on this one?
Please, get a tissue for Mr.
Sidir. Business, and big honesty.
But it's part of the journey. Yes, to get to your end goal.
Yeah, and when she transferred the money to it, it was hitting me, or you know what, I'm in this journey, but there are people who actually believe and who can dig deep to say, keep going.
Yes.
Now,
while we are there, we mentioned you are in this business with your wife, and you did state the instant you want to do a business. Share a few questions, and is that a business? Now, you just mentioned at the time where there was a need, your sister came through. Are we got the support structure that you draw into? Who supports you? Who motivates you to keep going?
Look. Spiritually, I have got Batobile. I watch them and I love their motivation. Like Pastor Chris, I'll mention the names.
Yes.
My wife is always there. My wife is always there. More business saying she's always there. I think home go actually thinking because I got to the point Haniki decided I want to allow the business for expand, then I'm trying to remove my hands. But going over in cutting, I can remove the hands, and she goes and she start questioning now what about this and that. No, I'm doing this intentionally to allow the business to get for as long as it's not a massive risk. So in terms of business, she supports, and kwa lapeng hela emotionally she's always there. We do almost everything together. Hey, of course libo ngwanake. Yes. My boy is 6, my girl is 8. They are always challenging also. To say, Daddy, they ask, hey, nothing. Did you go to Tilemate today? Why? What's happening? You know, they're always there to say, but we know there is this thing that you are doing. You should be there. And I've got my mom as well, and my sisters who are always there also supportive. This is what I want to do. This is where I'm going. They're always okay. No, we are behind you. Well, like they also put financial support in them, and they have visited the plant. More podcasting. One of them was sending a Tilemate.
Oh.
You know, she's already got Tilemate.
Yes.
So that is the kind of support. My in-laws as well. I'm so blessed such that Kenale, both my side and my wife's side, they are very supportive. Yes. They are in there. They are participative, not only supporting hela ya mulungu, they are participative for high long or where they will get there in the gap. You hire support there, and I've got no doubt. And I've got friends by long about motivate. There is another one who is a very close partner in the business. What my sister did as well. He works somewhere else, so I didn't disclose the whole He works somewhere else, but he's always there in terms of assisting us to move. He's a very good friend. His name is Richard. I won't say the same name.
Okay, that's
for those reasons. Yes, he's supporting that. So and I know you probably know also Jacob of the Bible. He's one of the guys when he will keep on saying no. Keep on moving, and he will come and visit a plant. I get certain challenges. You find and you say no, try this and that, and then a limo decline thing. When I like the managing director wa Botoka, his name is Sachin. He's Indian. I sat with him the first time. This is what I want to do, and he's always been saying, okay, this is what you're going to encounter. Keep pushing that there, and he's always been there throughout the journey. So there are many. I mentioned a lot of people thought about they are always there. It's out how Modi institutions in Botswana, because let's say they really assist.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. So, but the support, I've never really felt alone. And it's a journey. Of course, some solutions will require me to dig deep. But while I'm digging deep in them, there is somebody else who is covering something else because I'm focused on that. So that support system, it's very critical. My upbringing has taught me, don't underestimate any single person. Because the person underestimate the person can give you that weight that you need, or that advice, or unlock that idea that you need. So for me, one of the biggest guy, somebody sitting down begging. For me, I engage with them from a personal standpoint. This person and all. So for me, I see the support system it's solid, to be honest.
Right. Let's delve into the manufacturing sector. What would you say are the key challenges for the manufacturing industry right now?
Bona, the challenges for manufacturing Botswana. Obviously, the first one, high Botswana, population. We cannot deny that. Because manufacturing, you operate like economies of scale. You need to produce a lot of things to make money. So how produces about now you need to look at export. And export will cost a little bit more than how no dira local. But that is not a barrier. It's a beautiful challenge that we have to deal with. And then the other thing, how you go the financing institutions. Most of them, because there isn't a lot of proven manufacturing industries in Botswana, you find some areas you'll be financed like somebody who did a service. Whereas manufacturing, it takes a lot of money and takes a lot of work for it to run the roots before you can start seeing the fruits. Hence, le Tilemate 2020. But the first profit realizer was 2023. Those 3 years of what was happening, you're putting money in the business. That's why I collab my sister and call a friend. You're putting money in the business, you are digging this, you are refining this, but you're not getting any time out. But you can see the growth. The growth you can see when I product but you're not yet seeing the money that you have put in. So you thing financing. And I think Botswana, this one now is no longer a challenge. Hakele bella Botswana ka ba behave and that ne ikira ya gore abatho ba adopta dio tse dirwe local. I think Botswana have started embracing dio tse leng go dirwe local. So that is not really a challenge for the manufacturers tse leng gore they are the other thing it lo gonna ditaba these supporting institutions like quality, Botswana and the likes. Why it's or e kare mo Botswana because re santse le banyenyane re gola as a manufacturing country. Baka lebelela manufacturing businesses let's partner together and be friends and work together. Re kgone go dira quality re set a standard for Botswana gore re go pele rather than looking at it and say let's police what you have done, because a lot of manufacturers by Botswana, most of them maybe the financial muscle is not that big. So how about another finance thing by somebody who is supposed to be saying let's work together and get a certain quality and move forward. It becomes a issue. Okare eka polish you like those institutions by level. We will still get our money. Maybe let's work together for you to get this quality and get the standard. But once you start making the money, then you pay us this. Not pay us. For me, for example, I have to pay over 200,000 to Bobs to get a certification. So I think Tilemate I think and it can afford. But why should I pay that much? And why should that be imposed to somebody? Oh, similar line business. I impose you, I get their sister in Botswana who is supposed to be saying let's work together and get there and compete with the rest of the international market. So those are some of the challenges. So there are many, but all of them also present themselves as opportunities, because Botswana will fly. It's what after very little we can penetrate the Romela Dilo outside.
Yes. So if you could delve a little bit more detailing how financiers approach financing manufacturing versus services. We break it down a little bit. What are the key things that they should look at, considerations about manufacturing businesses as compared to service businesses?
Financiers, like how finance motor a plant like in or a manufacturing plant. How much am I approving your money? Now, I guess someone like this best. I guess someone like Madi, your grace period is 3 months. That person is already set up to fail. Because remember, where the plant thing, let's say, Yamene did steel. But to have a similar kata steel before Banela Madi. Even sometimes they don't even start sourcing the steel before Banela Madi. So how Banela Madi, now whoever source this steel can take how like a month. Right? But now this was they create your plant. That's another month, right? So Habas now a month or two, Habas now depending on the complexity of your equipment. Habas now buy a builder, or depending on the size, they can build it in parts and then send it to Botswana to come and install it. Habas now we installer even, which can take a month or two. Habas now we installer, they need to run it. Commissioning. They need to run it and make quality so is it the right quality? And I can't the finances, we grace period as well. We working capital. But high nadi era in NASCAR is your problem. So that time your financier hey, by the way, you failed. Can I get 3 months? So how similar to the quality that you want? Or okay, now the machine is running fine. Now you have to get into the market. How the marketing happens? Everyone about a product. That can take up to 6 months. Hence, go right get similar Horana Tilemate 2020, born the first profit 2023. And I consider myself very polished when it comes to manufacturing because I have run operations. So how ka lebella motho e leng gore maybe o neelwa madi and they are trying a business in manufacturing, really a passion, but by polish the time becomes even longer. So it's very important to look at it and look at business by business and say, you know what, really this one, let's go the journey.
Yes.
It's not going to be a 3 months grace period.
Yeah.
It's going to be a longer for us to be victorious in this journey.
Got it. Let's get into your relationship with local enterprise authority. The genesis you have shared that we injected your own investment into the business and later on to set up the plant.
Yes.
But commonly they will go to Leah, do the business plan and go to Sida.
It happened the other way around. Yes. As much as engage that there is a layer that can really assist. And that's how we are introduced to Leah via Sida. The person who did
Yes.
Are kopanya Leah Fingers, who is overseeing Leah Kokanya as well. They started engaging Lerona, I think from there. And the journey out not what the hell we've been every day a roller coaster. Because we are assisting you with something. They also pay for that. How can you like again? How about the training? By the way, we're giving you training, but it's gonna cost you 5,000. You know, have to know we've paid for the training, come for the training and all that. And ever since the Kopana Lebone, Masidi was my wife, the HR and marketing manager, so we engage after Talibon. I want to the fairs and the shows whenever opportunity once our showcase our product. So all the shows I think the really goes when Leah was inviting to say, no, come and guys, come and show your product. And then Eleka support the hair layer. I think there is QuickBooks. In QuickBooks in Israeli one but Leah Lebasida combined, they came and said, you know what, try this for a manager your finances. Yeah. So my journey Leah has been the one where we are more listeners and Gigare we really getting a lot from them. But hella, the journey has been a very beautiful one because
yes,
they support financial wise penetrate the market. I mean 2 years or last year I went to Zambia, courtesy of Leah as well, where we were engaging on the after and we were able to talk about Africa Continental Free Trade Area, understand how it operates. And that was Leah. They paid for everything. We were with one of the senior officials back on Leah, and the support was there. We didn't have to worry about anything. All you needed to do was show the people your product and sell yourself.
Yes.
So those kind of offers go a long way for somebody who did a business, because without those, how do I now get the link?
Yes.
So the journey has been a beautiful one.
I know it's Leah and a whole host of other SMME or entrepreneurship ecosystem players. Which other entities would you say have been pivotal in your growth pattern and opening doors, or the network that you've managed to build to support those players?
Yes, we are members of BEMA, Botswana Exporters and Manufacturers Association. Just recently, my wife was in one of the panels when they related to the challenges that manufacturing and that gives you the opportunity to link with other players. I mean, we closed some potential businesses module in Botswana. We are a member of Business Botswana as well, BITC as well. We are registered. That's why we brand Botswana more product in Yarona prominently. I think but it's straight in there. Really was their ITF. Zimbabwe relay courtesy of BITC. So we were with BITC there, really showcase our products and managed to engage with potential clients, and that is ongoing. So Lebone, they have played a massive role. we have the likes of BOTC. They have visited our plant, look at what is it that they can do in terms of Botswana Trade Commission, look at what they can do in terms of assisting Kenya, or do we need protectionism, or do we whatever that we might need in terms of assisting us to grow. And we engaged a lot in that. And I was saying, just somebody visiting and having that kind of candid engagement, you learn a lot in terms of the things that you can more business in your house. So many ways. So BITC has had an input, Leia, CEDA has had an input, BEMA, BOTC, yes, the ones I've mentioned.
The list is endless.
What we do really, go Tilemate, we've opened our arms like this.
Yeah.
We have accepted as much first class, I can lead masters of business administration. I've accepted worry alone. I cannot really make something that outlives me. But with the system knowledge, combining all of that, we can make a massive thing that can go a long way. So I'm very open to engaging all, and every single one of them, there is something that I have learned that I have applied in the business at some point.
Yes. We like the facilitation layer where they avail opportunities for Tilemate to go and market the product. I mean, I think Okadman and now we can have a good product, but as long as people buy it out there, then Botswana local was a smaller business. So if you were to encourage somebody out there with a product, how should they position themselves? Let me just say it. How should they position themselves whenever they get an opportunity? Go BBNTF Consumer Fair or go Cytex or go South Africa. What should they do?
Take it. I would say take it. I think you can attest to that. Highly bizarre Tilemate, no matter when, at night or at what time, hey, there's an opportunity to exhibit here, we are there. Because it's only when you are there in the eyes of the people, like I said, that gives you an opportunity to engage, learn something new. Kana business now it's one idea away from failure and one idea from success. And that idea can be in those kind of engagements. So marketing is not something that you play with. Any opportunity you are offered to go, you should take it. And you should really push marketing more serious. And like advice, a particular product, which I have seen a couple of I'm analyzing the market, and then and somebody takes a month and thinking, analyzing the market. I just want to say I might be different from many, but my understanding is if you don't have a product in the market, you are not a player in that market. So stop wasting time analyzing a market you're not playing in. So get in and then be proactive in terms of doing. It's only when you do that you really get the feel of what is happening in that market. And you perfect the product, don't get feedback from the end user. Exactly.
Future, what does it look like for Tilemate?
Yeah, Tilemate.
Usumozeka Bonding Liquid, one product line.
Yeah.
Now you have 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first 3 years, there was no profit, and now we're making profits.
Now we're making money.
What does the future look like?
I mean, in this year alone, we only made a loss once in April. The other months we were making some good margins, some good money. The future for Tilemate, I see it as beautiful and bright, to be honest, because Harlem thing. We have a plan, and I was sharing with you earlier that every week on Tuesday we have a meeting from 10 o'clock with the management at Tilemate, sharing ideas, sharing thoughts, sharing what is happening on the ground, sharing where we want to go. One of the things we want to penetrate South Rene, like we to get in. And the other thing, we are intentional about developing product year on year. Like a redeveloper, and we are solidifying the quality. ha dipendetse di catch a fire, we get on to the next product. So I don't know if we can talk numbers. I mean, Tilemate makes over yearly war. This year we're going to make more than 20 million, right? But the dream is that in the next 10 years, those numbers we should be making in a month. Why not? I mean, why not? I feel like the likes of Bo, it's a Grand Cordon. He just makes billions and he's okay with it. I mean, there are a couple of guys by the way you listen to and you're like, Elon Musk is just easy making money. Why can't we in Botswana do that? And one of the things is their mind is so liberal and they believe anything is possible. I think we need more Botswana by what they believe anything is possible. And with Tilemate, I believe anything is possible.
Yes.
Yes.
Before we get to the last few questions, when your initial investment, which for me I feel it was massive, from your savings over $500,000. I mean, some young entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur out there, they don't have that type of an investment. What would you say to them? Business what would be your encouragement to them?
Yes, the thing is how an idea. But how starter? Like $500,000, but if you look at the business you need how a starter fresh, you need over 20 million. You understand? We start. But more that amount is very small when you to the business you're starting. So if you are starting a business, you have $500,000, 150,000, 10,000 might be more than enough. So, and how similar business the idea is wherever you are starting, you just be patient with rotating the money. Build your proposal, look for financiers. But while you are doing that, refine your entrepreneurial skills by doing another thing that you can afford at that time. Because if your concept is the same, how we apply more business in Kenya, you can grow it to get to the finances that enable you to do another big thing. So I don't like this sweetie because and I think Botswana should get into the mindset of thinking bigger than this sweetie. It's good, let's do it. Somebody needs to do it. But if you have a bigger idea, start building that money to get something that you can go bigger with. And happy you find what the likes of, but they are brilliant. They are brilliant in that how kata or batong ke batla go dira so se nthoka 1 million. Me ke na le skill se ke a bontsha gore ke ntse ke dira mo go ntirela 5,000. Me look at my track record of how I'm managing this, therefore I can manage this. They are able to listen and see what there is discipline in the business. Get already scary now because I can. If you're an entrepreneur, start where you are with what you can start with. Then you will build on to that.
Yes. How's Zamesi Tilemate, what do you do?
I'm a family man. I'm a family man. I think I love spending time with my wife and my kids.
Yes.
And I love my extended family. So I'll spend time with them, having some good conversation, challenging each other on what we need to do to come rich in this beautiful country.
Those are the conversations.
Those are the conversations. Those have to be the conversations. Why should we be talking about people that are making money when we can be the makers of the money? The beauty of it is that Madi there's just a lot of money, and the things that you find where they open us to other countries beyond Botswana. All right, and the other thing I'm a believer. I go to church, I will pray, I spend time praying, and I love who maybe the less privileged. Because now you might think 100 pula is a small thing, but if you can talk to them, got that 100 pula, or do this and that and that, and it might change your life. You never know how far that goes. I mean, a week ago, I want to say that name, I put a seed, put a seed, because the business, and I put a seed. But they came on Elamadi, take this money, right? Go and buy stock. House now reka stock, go back there. But I go nela cause na re go go no go setse mmago le mmangwana. Kera o bo a go buy dio tse go lateng o re la mmangwana go le mama gore ba go rekisetse. Wena ha o tswa kwa wa check gore ba rekile kae wa go reka tse dingwe gape and start growing the business like that. And those, it might be a small conversation, but I think go sans ke gona na hetsa bo 4-5. E gona bona ngwana thing is the first time I would have that kind of a conversation. Therefore, actually no, you can do it. And I spend my time trying to change the mindset of bailing to say we can actually do it. And the reality of it is that we can actually do it. We have a lot of support system and we can make it big. As long as we support and encourage each other to grow. So that's what I spend my time with. Family, prayer, encouraging others, giving back to the community. Like we have CSR, Tilemate, we give funds for and encourage they encourage think differently about your future in your life. So that's what I like doing on my spare time.
Sounds like you are managing in terms of balancing personal and professional commitments. But
you know what?
The good thing over you are able to have the conversation, but now how conflicts and challenges will be there.
Yes.
Lady manager, yeah.
I wanna say this. Maziro, I love Maziro. Right?
I know that.
So, and I love being around her. And it just so happened they enjoy being around her. So it's easy. Yes. There are times where but like I said recently, it's mostly her. And she said, no, but can we just stop working for now? But recently, because now I'm trying to say, okay, and yes, and obviously, now we're saying we don't want to link. Until you want to manage your hamo latin but those things do happen. But I'll tell you one thing. More Africa with this thing of nepotism again. No, how American thing that stifles continuity. And I'm gonna say it with Kira, somebody might disagree. It stifles continuity. Because they know what they are going to Tilemate or another business that we would have started.
Yes.
Because by that time, we would have started many. I'm intended in starting so many and introducing a lot more products. Hostafla continuity in that if he is master of all, jack of all trades, then haki so maybe kile hakiri ki so possibly I'm talking about not talking about those kile tripping go Dubai kile disappear. Who runs the thing? And maybe in the next 200 years, that time I'm sure I won't be there.
Yes.
So now who runs it? If it's not somebody that is related to you, somebody that knows you. So I do this and I do this intentionally and boldly, and I'll continue to do it. More Tilemate, my wife, some of the linkages, my sisters, not work. There are many other people that are not related to me. But for me is having your family working with you so that you can be able to build something together. Have somebody, they have the same interests for me as I have. Because UK, and I was working for a French company now, say, and I can take visit China, the multi-million companies that they run. They are working with their families. It's just when Habatla Mobo, Africa Botswana, where they say, no, how berekali family how can nepotism? Because now we how katla without berekali your husband or berekali wana how in that business, you will have enough knowledge to do that business. But isn't that what we want? For a Batu Baba around us, but enough knowledge and trust to build bigger businesses. So I'll be working with my wife for as long as I can, and I'm enjoying it. Yes, but it's beautiful to disagree and agree with her than disagree and agree with her stretch.
In closing this conversation, and take a moment if you have to. What has been the most rewarding moment, Hella, where you're like, tell me it's happening. I can tell you one.
Yeah.
I met you at an exhibition, one of the exhibitions where I discovered the product. And there was one day I was driving Mokaborone, and I saw a truck. One of the the buyers of your products. They're not called wholesalers. The hardware stores. One of the big hardware stores in Botswana. They were loading your products. That really made me smile. I feel that way when I see a lot of the Botswana products, the excel, the succeed. So for you, what was the most gratifying moment throughout the journey?
I've had many. I think the first day when the plant the tile adhesive is the first tile adhesives. I mean, we were there with my beautiful wife, Ridi Kukaya, like this. You know, when you're looking at this, you're like, it's here. It's here, right? And then that was one of those moments where you're like, we are actually making it. And then the other moments, like there are many, is a truck being loaded and you're looking. There's another time delay about 4 interlinked trucks and deloader, and I'm looking at that. I'm like, okay, 60,000, 120,000, and I'm looking at that. And I'm like, okay, this is happening. So those are the moments. Tota helali or go maybe I get in a cash bill, then I see my stock there, it's in somebody's buying tile adhesives and they're loading Tilemate, and you're like, oh great. You know, because I know from the depth of my heart that they are being a product 8 long over delivered
Yes.
It's going to give them the proper quality that they need.
Yes.
So I've had many. But I can be here at those moments.
I can imagine.
Yes.
Yes. Tumelo Sidira, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for honoring the invitation, and all the very best in your huge, audacious dreams. I think it's inspiring a whole lot of us. Entrepreneurs battling in the space and aspiring entrepreneurs. I hope they will look at your story and say, I see myself in Tumelo Sidira and his beautiful wife.
Yes.
And their kids, creating generational wealth. As to Lily business house,
No.
Thank you so much.
Likewise, I appreciate whenever they are still asking me, or when am I going to talk about billions? Can I get a million? When am I going to talk about billions?
Yes.
But thank you very much, Lena, for having me. And I wish Botswana Lebone, they can just unlock their mind a little bit. More a fertile ground or Botswana. They should really just do, because many Botswana monato I think unlike we still have family. So if you try something, if you have family.
Yes.
So Botswana should just unlock their minds and start businesses. Let's just do this. And how about the after? Is it rectify for after? Is it let's just be another Dangotes ba mo Botswana kana jang.
Yes.
It's doable. Why not?
It is.
It's beautiful to have money.
Yes.
Just make money and just have it.
Hey.
Emma.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.